it's Max, and welcome to my September TBR, Becca's Bookoplathon edition. So, this month I am planning on participating in 4 readathons, 2 of which are month-long, but only one of them I'm planning on actually taking the whole month to do, and that's Becca's Bookoplathon. I am also participating in the Adventures Through Wonderland readathon, which I am going to have my whole separate TBR for that coming next week, but that is a month. It goes September 1st to the 30th, but I am just taking 1 week to read all of the books, and here is a quick sneak peek. I am also participating in the Tolkienalong, which is hosted by Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction, and we are reading The Hobbit in September, and then The Lord of the Rings, each 1 book a month for the rest of the year. I am so excited. I have read The Hobbit before, but I have not read The Lord of the Rings, so I am really pumped to be participating. And then the last readathon I'm participating in is the Buzzwordathon, which takes place from September 21st through the 27th. The buzzword is night, and I have a few books that I'm going to be talking about, but let's get into the rolls. Okay, so here's my little Rowan bookmark. That's going to be my little guy, and ready for roll 1. And then I do have to use my phone because I do not have any die, but okay, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something with a dark cover. Okay, so for the first prompt for Becca's Bookoplathon, it was to read a book with a dark cover, and for this, I'm going with Northern Wrath by Vilde Cold Holt. And then this is a book about gods. It's northern inspired, so like Odin is a god, and then a person who can walk between life and death sees Odin's doom, and it kind of sets off a whole slew of events. I'm obviously not explaining this very well. I don't fully know what it's like really about. It's a very vague synopsis, you know, for a big epic fantasy, but I am really excited to read it. Okay, roll 2. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. POC rep. Okay, so for rule number 2, to read a book by a person of color. Now, I looked this up just to make sure, and a person of color for the US, it's considered anyone basically who's not white, which I understand is very problematic and very unfortunate. But for this, I just wanted to get a book that is on my TBR, and I'm reading this during the Buzzwordathon hosted by Books and Lala. The word is night, and I'm going with Arabian Nights by, I think it's anonymous, or like we don't know, but it does come from the Middle East, and so it is authors of color. I'm very excited. I don't think I'm gonna read this whole thing during Buzzwordathon, but I do want to get through quite a few stories, and I'm very excited. Roll number 3. 8. 1st in a series. Bookoplathon prompt 3 is to read the first book in a series, and for this I am going with The Blacksmith Queen by G.A. Aiken. I have the second book as an ARC. I didn't realize it was the second book, and so I just requested it, and then I got it, and I realized, oh, this is the second book in a series. So I did get this. It is on Hoopla, so I am going to be reading it this month. This is about a world where the next queen is prophesized, and Blacksmith thinks her sister is going to be the next queen, and so she's trying to protect her because the royal family wants to kill her, and she gets help from, I think, this group who's sworn to protect the next king or queen. Roll number 4. A double! And it is 2. 1, 2. Read a standalone. Okay, rule number 4 is a standalone, and thankfully I have 1 standalone on this TBR, and that is The Night Tiger by Yangtze Chu. This I am very excited to read. I have been wanting to read it since Kayla from Books and Lala did the Read Like an Aries, because I looked up books that are recommended for Aquariuses, and this came up, and I've been really intrigued ever since. All that I know about it is that it's a historical fantasy, and I think people can turn into tigers and turn into different creatures, and I'm very excited to read it. So that does mean that I'm going to have to do 11 rolls. So I've got 7 more. Roll number 5. 5. 1, 2, Read a sad book. For Bookoplathon Rule 5, read a sad book, I'm going with Lancaster and York by Alison Weir. Now, do I know if this is going to be sad? No. But it follows the families Lancaster and York through many years, which means there's probably going to be a lot of death because they are the two families that are in the War of the Roses, and a lot of people die. So, I am hoping that this works. Rule number 6. 8. A chance card, oh no. Yes, okay, so it's The Bookweaver's Daughter, which is a book that I have on my September TBR because it's an arc that I have and it comes out this month. So that is perfect. For Bookoplathon Rule 6, it was a chance card, and I got a book that I wanted to read this month. It's on my TBR. I'm so excited, and that is The Bookweaver's Daughter by Malavika Kannan. This I'm very excited to read. It does come out this month, so I did have to get on top of it and read it this month. Okay, so for rule number 7, 6, oh my gosh, a community shelf card. Wow, okay. These are genres or just kind of prompts that I put in that weren't on the board. Okay, it's LGBTQ+, which means I have to read a book with LGBTQ+ characters or themes or by an LGBTQ+ author. All right, and then for rule number 7, it went right to community shelf. And for this, I got the card read an LGBTQ+ novel. And for this, I am going with The Lost Book of White by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. I'm so excited for this. It is the sequel to The Red Scrolls of Magic. I didn't love The Red Scrolls of Magic as much as her other novels, but I just love the Shadowhunter universe. I love Magnus and Alec, so I am very excited to pick this up when it comes out. And rule number 8, 7, a book with a light cover. Okay, for rule 8, I got read a book with a light cover, and that is The Bone Shard's Daughter by Andrea Stewart. Now, I actually got this as a Goodreads arc that I won, but it was supposed to be a Kindle arc, and I just could never get it to my mom's Kindle. They did not, my Goodreads email's not connected to her email, so I just wasn't able to get it, but I requested it on NetGalley, and I got it. This is about a girl that lives in a kingdom that whoever can control bones kind of rules, and she was supposed to be the ruling princess, but then her family got overthrown by an emperor and she wants to take her kingdom back. Rule number 9 is another double. Oh no, and I have to do 10. Thank goodness I only had myself do 10 prompts this month because usually I do read more, and so now 12, that's okay. Okay, it's adult. For rule number 9, it is adult, and I'm going with another arc that I got that's a adult romance. I haven't read one in a while, and I'm just kind of in the mood for something light and fun, and I'm going with When the Earl Met His Match by Stacey Reed. And I think it'll just be a lot of fun. You know, quick, easy, steamy romance that will hopefully just lighten my day, especially because I'm just ending August with the Newts, and it's a lot. It's a lot, and I just kind of want, even though I'm still reading a lot of books this month, I want it to be a little bit more low-key than the Newts, and I think just throwing in a nice, fun, steamy romance will do the job. Okay, rule number 10. 5. Read a sequel. For rule number 10, it is to read a sequel, and for this, I'm going with Queen of Volts by Amanda Foody. This is one of my most anticipated reads of the year. I requested, the very first arc that I requested on NetGalley this year was for Queen of Volts. I have not been approved, I have not been denied, it has just sat there on my request shelf for months, and I pre-ordered it. I was just like, you know what? September 1st is coming up. I'm going to want to read it right when it comes out, so I did pre-order it. This is about a girl who goes to this city that is kind of based on Las Vegas and trying to find her mother, and she gets just swept up into the whole politics of this city and gets in a lot of danger, and a lot of stuff happens, and I just think it's a lot of fun. Rule number 11. 6. A 5-star prediction. And for prompt 11, it is to read a 5-star prediction, and for this I'm going with Down Comes the Night by Allison Saft. Now this is about a girl who kind of she goes to heal this person, and she finds out it's her family's rival, and I think they're like stuck in this hospital, just the two of them, and I'm a sucker for that. Hello! Hate to love, snowed in, like stuck in the same place, they're gonna fall in love, and we're all here for it. I mean, come on, who isn't here for it? And I think it's just gonna be great, a lot of fun, and I can't wait to pick it up. And then the 12th and maybe last roll. 5, and it is the last roll. 1, 2, 3. Friend pick. Okay. I'm going to text my friend and ask her to pick a book for me. All right, and now for the last roll, number 12, I got friend pick, and so I texted my best friend, and I just sent her a picture of my NetGalley shelf, and I said, which one should I read? And she chose, unsurprisingly, The Princess Knight by G.A. Aiken. This is the sequel to The Blacksmith Queen. I want to read it this month, and this is the sequel to what I talked about earlier, so I'm not going to say anything about it because it is spoilery. I have spoiled myself for the first book, but I am still really excited to read it. So now that we're done with Becca's Bookoplathon, let's go into the Buzzwordathon, and for this I only have 4 books. One of them is kind of cheating, and that is The Princess Knight. So it's K-N-I-G-H-T, Knight is in the title, and I'm counting it. Why not, right? You know, it's like, as long as it's on the cover, like I remember when it was numbers, it didn't have to be in the title, it could just have like the number 1 on the cover. And so I'm counting it, N-I-G-H-T is in the title, and it's going for it. Another book is Down Come the Night as well. This does reference night, and it's a 5-star prediction, so obviously I'm pumped for it. And then I'm also reading Arabian Nights during it. I'm reading a few stories a day, probably. No, I do not plan on finishing this. It would be nice, but it's long. And I read part of this few years ago, so I might try and remember where I left off, or check Goodreads and see if it shows where I left off, because I could start from there and continue. But we'll see. I do not plan on finishing this, but I do plan on reading a few stories a day, and it has night in the title. And then the last book is the audiobook, and it is also the group book, which is The Night Tiger by Yangtze Chu. So I am so pumped. When she said night was the word, I thought it was perfect. I knew that I had 2 books on my September TBR that had night in the title, and then I'd been wanting to read The Night Tiger for months, and I just remember I watched the video and I looked and I was like, huh, what's another book that I could just fit in there? And then also like a short story collection, I remembered Arabian Nights, and I thought that's perfect. And then I am participating in another readathon, and that is the Alice's Adventures Through Wonderland readathon, but I am going to do a specific video all for that because I'm so excited. I'm going to be dressing up as the White Queen. I'm not part of the group, I am not in it, but I just love Alice in Wonderland, so I wanted to dress up, and I have a white dress, and so I'm going to be wearing white, and the White Queen was not featured as one of the characters, so I'm going to dress up as her and go along with that, but that is going to come as a different video next week. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you're just as excited as me. Follow my progress through Becca's Bookoplathon in my weekly vlogs, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye.